these problems have been considered serious enough by a lot of big governmental organizations to
Yeah,
outright say, like, we're done with it. So just to list a few, like the Chicago Police Department, the Denver
yeah.
Police Department, ICE,
The FBI.
yeah, the FBI, U.S. Air Force Global Strike Command, of course, after this
Yeah,
incident, like,
they've
have
just gone to M4s
temp-
again. Like,
yeah, temporarily halted, but it'll probably continue.
You're listening to the Art and More podcast with your hosts, Nathan and BR. Nathan is a Canadian illustrator with a couple years of military experience, and BR is a British anarchist that moved to the States. Both are passionate shooters and community builders. Together, they run the Seaburn art page. Enjoy the show.
I think.
you've got what? No, just fucking do it. Do it. Do the cold open.
Well, can you really say you're American if you don't know what green tip is?
I don't think he knew what green tip is.
I think
You
that's some soft-handed bullshit.
Yeah. To give some context, I drove for like many miles for many moons with a loaded mag of green tip on the roof of my car. Somehow it didn't fall off. My Prius with Canadian plates, and I've brought this up in the show before. I just find it really funny. This old guy at the gas station, like the one really nasty guy that I've met up here, just looks at it and he goes like, "You're a long way from home, boy." and my friend Matt, God bless his fucking soul, sees this mag of green tip on my roof that I had not that I hadn't noticed. It'd been there for at least half an hour. Takes the mag, points it at the guy, and goes like, no, look here, he's got green tip. You see, he's American. And that guy refused to fucking even look at us for the rest of it.
I love that as a conversation component, because one, like, some like crunchy old fucking racist, like the actual like Idaho stereotype, staring you in the eye.
Yeah, the one guy I've met here like that.
He has an AR magazine of green tip pointed at him. He probably had no idea what the fuck he was.
Oh yeah, no, he had no idea what he was looking at. And like, ironically, like we're getting out of the car with fucking like dusty cry pants. We just run a class and like open carried holsters. Like I don't like open carrying, but to and from the range, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, I shouldn't give a fuck anyways. It's all right.
100%. Like open carrying. So goofy. Open carrying is a straight up policy. Dumb. Open carrying because you're to or from the range, or like if you're like if I'm doing like a bunch of landscaping work or something, or whatever the fuck. Like if I'm rural, I'll be open carrying.
Likewise, if I'm going for a hike, going to the range, like anything rural or like in nature somewhere, open carrying. Hell, like even if I walk the dog at night, like I'm a kind of a night owl. I'll walk her at like 2 or 3 a.m. Yeah, I might open carry. I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it.
Comfortable.
It's America, gang. Do your thing. But
it's America. It's your fucking right. If there's a reasonable chance that, I don't know, some tweaker might grab it off you and then shoot you in the face, like we've seen a couple times over the last 6 months, then maybe, I don't know, consider at least a level 2 holster.
Yeah. Speaking of incidents, we have more Sig-cidents to discuss.
Sig-cidents!
Sig-pocalypse, dude.
The Sig-pocalypse. Okay, we don't have our friends Brandon and Drew with us this time. I love those guys. I'm very happy we did that. This is kind of off the cuff, so I feel like for that one it was very journalistic. This time I want to give my real obviously satirical, obviously very legally protected parody opinions.
I don't know, man. Like, they didn't send us a cease and desist last time. Like, I'm kind of at the fuck it point. Like, Ben Stoger's just out there with his dick on the table. Like, we can't.
Fair point. Which is funny because they're not suing any of the little guys, but they are suing the Washington government for dropping their gun. Like they're
the fucking customer.
Yup.
Like, fuck you.
Like,
dude.
How do you even do that? How are you like, okay, like you won't use our guns anymore, so we're going to sue you so you use them again? Like, that's not how it works,
dude. I've used this term talking about Sig recently because, like, you know, back in March, like, obviously they're the ones who proclaimed, like, it ends today. They brought the topic of conversation to light, to the public, made it like a massive, basically like a PR move to state, like, there is no problem with that P320 pistol discharging on its own. obviously we discussed that at length with Brandon and Drew. We went into all of like the more technical background and all that, and a bunch of
Yeah.
people have been digging into it since
Yeah.
they kicked up all the dust.
Since then,
But
all the documents that Brandon sent me, I've poured through them. It's some shit. Sorry,
yeah.
continue.
Oh yeah, we'll put the link again in this episode, even though it's going to be less like journalistic. But there is so much fucking data out there that pretty obviously shows there are problems with this firearm. But since then, we last recorded that with them back March, or we posted it March 17th, shortly after they made that big PR announcement. And so this episode we're recording because it is 6 days since another major Sig-cident. I think I don't know if this country goes a single day without a Sig-cident.
Yeah, I feel like they happen a lot, but I remember, and I brought this up last time, like on Reddit of all places, someone posted a Sig-cident, and it was just like gone within a few hours. And that's happened a couple of times where I do think that either someone within moderation is deleting it, or Sig reaches out very quickly and they're like, "Hey, we will sue you, or we will give you money. Take this down." Like,
Yeah.
or possibly both, like carrot and stick, or what's the phrase, lead or silver? What-
Dude, that's how they win their court cases. I
Yeah.
mean, they're like, well, we haven't lost a court case yet. It's like,
Yeah, it's like for $14 million, I won't sue you. For $14 million, like I'll take that hole in my foot and I'll shut the fuck up.
yeah, if I shot one of my fucking balls off and you want to bribe me with 14 million,
Yeah.
I'll probably shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Are you familiar with like have you seen the movie Fight Club? Of course you have. You're a
Yeah,
red-blooded
yeah.
American.
Yep.
Remember the bit in the beginning, the narrator, Mr. What's the actor's name again? I really like him.
Oh, Edward Norton.
One second.
Alrighty, and we are back in the room. Alright, so the most recent Sig-cident happened on July 20th in Wyoming on a Air Force base. So
Yeah.
that was F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Cheyenne.
Yeah, it's Air Force
And-
Global Strike Command. So nukes,
Missiles,
effectively,
yep,
like
yep.
missiles, nukes. I think it's 19 missile wing or something.
90th Security Forces Squadron for
Yeah.
whatever they have going on there.
Yeah.
So-
So, a lot of people are like, "Oh, desk sergeants." Like these people are active security for like a nuclear command strike force.
But
Effectively.
keeping that in mind, like, even though it's a very serious job, it's not a particularly like arduous one. Like
No.
for the most part, they're waiting for something awful to happen,
Yes.
and otherwise, like patrolling and sitting at a desk. So
Yes, but
not a crazy amount of movement. Which
I
is
saw
relevant.
a lot of stuff, and this one was from the Canadian Forces page. People talking about it because Canada also signed a deal with Sig, and they also have P320s. They're called the C-22s.
Hmm.
And a lot of people were saying, like, well, why did he have the gun chambered? Like, why was it chambered to begin with? And I think that like there's a very simple reason to that, which is just like that's what most like law enforcement, security forces, everything does. Like you carry chambered. Israeli carry is a relic from the day, and I don't know how true this is, but I believe it. First, no one does it. Fucking no one does it, except
Yeah.
I guess the Israelis these days.
No, it's
But-
poor form. It's
It is,
unprofessional.
but it's the SOPs of almost no one. I think like some units in the Canadian military do it, but I was seeing people talking about that. Like, well, the next step in escalation of force is racking the pistol. Like,
Jesus
no, that-
Christ.
yeah, it's like hard FUD lore. But I think a lot of that was like whatever units that they're in are infantilizing them.
Not outside the realm of possibility, but regardless, like
Yes.
you absolutely, it should be the modern standard because it should have been this for like the last 50 years
Yeah.
that you are able to safely carry a handgun with a round chambered.
Yes,
Like,
100%.
That should be, especially for a new handgun. Like this isn't the M9A4 or something like where we're like generations down the line of the same gun. Like this is a brand new adopted handgun that replaced the prior service handgun. So it should be able to meet that very minimum basic requirement of
Yeah.
a weapon system.
Yeah,
So-
I would take an old battered handgun that's heavy and has reliability issues that doesn't go off that on its
Dude.
own.
The Brits before they transitioned to Glocks, they had like European SIGs,
Yeah,
and they were great.
yeah, they're fantastic. It's the Sig Sauer GmbH or however you say that. Like the European SIGs never went down in quality, as far as I know.
Nope, nope. They were fantastic handguns.
Yeah,
They were just getting like worn, and they were heavy, and there was better modern options in a striker fired handgun in the Glock. So
yeah,
although I have my best memory of doing any British Army stuff was having a colored sergeant.
yeah.
Jesus, having a color sergeant, not colored sergeant. Having a color sergeant, which is a made up fake British rank. And he was like demonstrating how you take down the Glock, and he couldn't figure out how to take the slide off.
So he's like that ATF guy, like
Yeah. He's like instructing us on how to take it apart for disassembly, and he can't figure out how to get the fucking slide off. And he's like, "Fucking plastic piece of shit." But anyway,
that's the funniest bit.
yeah. That's ignorance. That's not the system's fault. But
Yes.
anyway, so with this, the Air Force guy, he's some like 21-year-old
He's a
guy.
desk sergeant. Yeah,
Yeah, this is all like public and in the news anyway. So guy's name was Braden Lovin, 21 years old. Some young MP, and he for whatever reason takes off his holster, Safariland, with his M18. Is that what they're calling it?
yeah. He took it
M18.
off by the QLS fork, which makes me think he was probably handing it off to someone. Like,
Yeah.
who knows? I don't want to speculate.
Some admin act with the handgun.
Yeah,
Puts it on his
like-
desk, and weirdly, like, because even and I was talking about this to you before the show. Like, when I take my Glock off, like I have right now, like it's facing away from me. Like,
Yeah.
I trust in that handgun implicitly, but I wouldn't just like have it facing my chest while I'm sitting here chilling, because that's a little odd. Like, it happens sometimes when you're like hanging out with the boys and like everyone takes their guns off, but no one's touching your shit, no one's running a SIG, so you're like fine. It's action's covered, no one's touching it. Who cares?
Yeah, it's you generally trust. Any gun made in the last 50 plus years isn't going to go off on its own without human input.
Yeah.
Especially in a Safari Land holster, like issued Safari Land holster, at least level 2 or 3, triggers covered, everything's covered. Like nothing is touching that handgun.
Yep. And
I do see a lot of people talk about, like, oh, why was it pointed towards himself? It's like, the guy was 21 in a room full of other people. Like, I'm not going to say, yeah, point it at yourself, but I understand also pointing it at yourself for lack of a better, and I'm again not saying like, yes, go do this, but I can see why someone would do it in a room full of other people with a gun that's ostensibly safe. Ostensibly, again,
it should be safe.
Yeah, it should be safe. Like, generally the SIGs you see going off on their own, and as the GBRS guys say, I don't want to fucking believe it till I see one go off on its own with someone's arms crisscross applesauce. And then you see all these videos of like cops walking around doing other, like carrying groceries or like,
oh shit,
yeah, and it just goes off. This one's not even in a holster. Like, not this one is in a holster, but this one's not even touching a human being.
Yeah, so on the table, and the thing goes off,
Yeah,
and
that
shoots
is
this.
an unprecedented level of failure
Yeah.
that like most other modern striker fires have like 3 or 4 inbuilt safeties to prevent this from ever happening. Like, mechanically, most other guns, this could never happen. Theoretically, in the SIG, it should mechanically never happen, but clearly it fucking is, because this is now like dozens of incidents that I know about. How many incidents that we don't know about?
Yeah, so this thing, I think this is probably one of the most serious incidents we've seen, because I don't think there have been. I can't remember if we discussed any deaths previously.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
think
don't.
we
I
did.
think there was one other death. I keep on seeing a reference to something else, but generally they go off in holster.
Yeah, and a guy gets his ass or his leg or his foot like grazed or shot through.
Yeah,
and
or more likely than not, it just hits the ground.
Yeah, and there's been like some serious injuries, but deaths haven't been. They're like sub 10 from what I've seen, but who fucking knows? Sub 5 really from what I've seen. But so this poor young kid, he's dead because Sig is cock drunk for Uncle Sam's money, and they are
Yes.
fucking shameless. And I don't think there's any, like, I'm kind of fine with saying that now, because since their big announcement, since this big push for like defending themselves, they are plugging their ears and ignoring everything and dragging other companies through the mud. Like, there is the implication that it is like Safariland's fault,
Yeah.
or that it's the operator's fault.
Yeah.
It's the
I see
civilian
other
shooters.
people posting things about that. It's like, oh, well, he had it in a holster that wasn't designed for it. It's like, no, this is a military issued P320 holster made by Safariland, which is like probably holds more government contracts for holsters than most anyone else.
Yeah, and brother, if my handgun needs to have, like, if I bought a Glock 19 and I need the Glock holster and I need to have a Glock light on it and
Yeah.
like the whole fucking thing, dude, that's not how firearm systems work. Like,
Yeah.
we live, one of the great things about living in a western nation is constant innovation and like market competition, so you can get the best fucking thing possible. And if the main tool, the handgun itself, is not safe enough that aftermarket holsters can readily use it without, risk, like, you're not the tool for the job. Simple as
Yes.
that.
And like holsters too, it's like a fundamental misunderstanding on how holsters work, because like there are very very few, even with debris, even with whatever inside the holster, ways to make that gun go off on its own. Like
You need to like
sure, like
jam
a bit of
sticks into
stuffed
it.
T-shirt or something like that, but
Yeah.
you don't see this happening with other handguns. You don't see it happening with CZ-P10s. You don't see it happening with Glock 19s or the Beretta, which had the military contract for how fucking long? Decades.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And Glocks, which are just as ubiquitous as P320s.
Yep.
You don't see it happening with anything else. And other than a few choice designs, especially in light bearing holsters, there is nothing near that trigger.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it since we recorded the big journalistic Sig episode, but
Yeah.
like immediately after we recorded that one, there was the get this fucking P320 off my range video
Yeah.
that happened out in like East Tennessee somewhere, and like it's been pretty constant since then.
Yeah.
Of like, now that it is in the the shooting public's mind,
Yeah.
like these things, people are. And we talked about this in the last Sig episode, where a lot of these incidents, like, if you have an ND, like, you're not going to be very vocal about it in all likelihood,
No,
because
100%.
an ND, like, or if you perceive it to be an ND, like, that, for me, if I knew someone that like had an ND, like if I'd gone to the range with someone and they'd had an ND, I'd probably avoid shooting with them from then on out. Like, you're not gonna be invited to the cookout anymore. But like, I'm a little fucking worried about how you behave with firearms.
Especially the vitriol online too, because people would talk about like, hey, my P320 fucking went off.
Yep.
This went off. And immediately they'd be inundated with comments. And I've seen this of being like, no, you did it. Like, did you holstered with your finger on the trigger? We're like, I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure like a non-zero amount of these incidents have operator error in them.
Oh, 100%.
But like,
it's possible
statistically
with any handgun to be that negligent.
100%. But like, it's statistically significant enough that like obviously something else is going on.
Yeah.
And like, I do feel like a lot of people wouldn't talk about it, or they delete it. For example, like one of the threads that I saw that was deleted almost instantly was like, yeah, it happened to me. Like, went into my leg, went out the other side, so and so. It was in a holster, appendix carried. Like it got my thigh. It was through and through. It contacted Sig, so and so, and so many of the comments were like, no, like, you fucked up. Like, you did. It like says very clearly in the beginning, like, this was holstered in like a tier 1 concealed or something like that. I don't know, like, reputable, good holster company. And all the comments were like, oh, it must have been a shitty holster. Oh, you must have had debris in it. Like, my guys, like, you don't know how holsters work. And even then, like, now obviously, like, months and months later, even this incident, I saw another thing on the Canadian Forces pages saying, hey, like, Yeah, like another P320 went off, and all of the comments were like, "Well, Sig has fixed that. Sig has fixed that." Like they've had like 14 iterations since then. It's irresponsible for you to say. And now that this airman has unfortunately died, all of those comments have stopped coming for the most part.
Yeah, and I mean these problems have been considered serious enough by a lot of big governmental organizations to
Yeah,
outright say like we're done with it. So just to list a few, like the Chicago Police Department, the Denver
yeah.
Police Department, ICE,
No, the FBI.
yeah, the FBI, U.S. Air Force Global Strike Command, of course. After this
Yeah,
incident, like
they've
have
just gone to M4s
temp-
again. Like,
yeah, temporarily halted, but it'll probably continue unless Sig has the money and sway. Obviously, they did to get the contract in the first place, but with these things just cropping up again and again, and the bad PR of like a dude died in Wyoming,
yeah.
like serving his country, like that's not meant to happen. There's not meant to be your service pistol, like unless you came back from deployment and your wife's fucking someone else, like your service pistol usually doesn't kill you.
Um,
um
I have a somewhat related question, which I'm
yeah.
fairly sure I know the answer to for you. Have you ever read the comic The Boys?
uh, I've like perused it. I've seen the show, I know
Yeah.
of the comics, I've read it, but not like I don't own them or anything.
Well, something I really really like about the comics that like I know that the big thing was like, oh, YouTube is like, oh, these comics are just shock value and they're written bad and so and so, like, oh, they're just, cheap shock schlop. I strongly disagree with that. The big thing that really got me, and I read this, keep in mind, when I was like a teenager.
Mm,
It was pretty obvious that the villain the entire time wasn't really Homelander. Like,
yeah.
Homelander was there, but he's being manipulated by the powers that be in the company that he works for, Vought. And one of the issues that got into Vought's history really stands out in my head because it's a complete parallel of what's going on right now. The main villain of The Boys has and always was the military industrial complex.
Yep.
Like the entire time, it's like Vought is meant to represent Lockheed Martin. It's meant to represent Sig. It's meant to represent all of these companies that lobby and get their sticky little fingers into seats of political power. And the entire thing, at least for the first part, and an overarching theme of the entire comic, is Vought planting their own inside positions of political power.
Yeah.
And then it horribly backfires in ways that I won't spoil. But Vought is the ultimate big bad, whereas Mr. Edgar himself, is the main villain, and like he is just corporation personified. Anyways, this issue of this comic got into Vought's history of like making bad products, and it gets into Vietnam,
Mhm.
where Vought made, and this is definitely like the artist's choice. Garth Ennis, being I believe Irish, if not Northern Irish, always likes to inject little bits of more relevant details. Especially, I think he's a little gun autistic. I do
Mm.
like the amount of detail he puts into it. But they talk about how Vought got the contract, and that they lobbied and they managed to replace the M14 service rifle in this alternate history in Vietnam, and they go to a unit that had been using it, and they'd all been overrun and killed and butchered. And
Oof.
you see that this Vought rifle that's been pushed through service and basically like made it through because of nepotism, because
Mm.
of they got the right people hired in the right places to do, like, push through this government procurement and get this contract for the military's new assault rifle, this new wonder weapon that was supposed to help win Vietnam and beat all the communists. And every single one of them was just stabbed into the ground by the bayonet with the GI's head decapitated and planted on top of the rifle. And the rifles were fucking L85s. So you know that was on purpose. You know that was just like legally distinct L85s.
Yeah.
But because that's not historically accurate at all. But he was 100% making a statement probably about the SA-80, like L85 contract.
Yeah.
Either way, that it reminded me a lot of what happened here with Sig. It's like the exact same things happened. The right people were lobbied and wined and dined. They offered the right people the right amounts of money, and they hired the right generals right out of, they retire, they get a cushy consulting position at Sig.
Yep.
Because Sig wants the people that they know, and they want those contacts, and they want former military to be able to go to their people at in the military and go like, yes, this is the next generation of pistol. It's amazing. I might be wrong about all of this, but it's just dirty politics from the start to the end, and in the end, it was a bad product. And it sucks that people are dying over it, quite literally dying.
Yeah.
But this isn't Ron Cohen, the CEO of Sig Sauer USA. This isn't his first rodeo.
Yeah. You brought up a little tidbit before the show started that is quite interesting about a weapons trafficking charge from 2009 that Mr. Cohen got himself.
Yep. I can't remember what country he was charged in. I believe it was Germany, because they were shipping parts illegally from Germany to the United States and then to Colombia, and breaking all sorts of international arms trafficking laws. I believe him and 2 others got charged. He received a almost 2-year suspended sentence, if I remember correctly. It was something between 16 and 22 months, and paid 900,000 euros in fines, because he's rich enough, he got away with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have money, you can buy yourself out of, being a criminal.
Yeah.
Every time.
But also, like, think about Kimber. What do you think about when you think Kimber? Like, if someone says, like, I want to give you a Kimber 1911, what comes to your mind?
I think of a round-cheeked man with type 2 diabetes.
Yes. And you think of a shitty pistol.
Yep. Yep.
They used to be good. They used to be regarded like fucking... They weren't Nighthawk or anything. But
no. It's like, oh, man, you got me a Kimber?
Yeah, it's like a Tenfoglio or a Dan Wesson or something. Like, mid-high-end, like...
It would be a nice gift.
Yeah. Like a high-end consumer. Like, not prosumer, but consumer.
Yeah.
Like, it would run. And Ron Cohen became the CEO of Kimber, who was in kind of like dire financial straits. And allegedly, he started the restructuring process by immediately gutting all quality control. And he started doing exactly what he allegedly is doing at Sig. Not even allegedly, I don't even have to say this.
They moved that shit to India.
Yeah, they moved it to fucking India. You think about India, and you think about the manufacturing in India, and the MIM processes and all of that. You don't exactly think of quality.
Yeah, like we joke about India a lot, but like seriously, when the fuck has India ever been like a staple of manufacturing excellence? Like,
yes.
I don't care where the fuck you sit politically. Like, dude, it's the third world. You're not going to get fucking like German engineering out of India.
Yeah,
there's nothing synonymous with quality there.
Exactly, and it's the strikers. It's the fucking strikers. Every other like you go to Glock, you go to Heckler and Koch, you go to anywhere else, it's all machined out of billet.
Yeah,
they metal injection mold their fucking strikers.
Which in defense of it, like it can be done.
Yeah, it works, but it's not like they don't machine engagement surfaces, so it's not consistent, and it's not consistent. So a bunch of the manufacturing methods that go into making the P320 aren't consistent, such as the bent. Like Glock has this too, but it's a bent steel trigger bar. Like it's pressed on a jig, and it's thrown into the gun. But then you have this other metal injection molded, which, like, it is generally a much cheaper method of manufacturing. Can it work? Yes. But I think there's a reason that other companies are using billet for the most part. Kimber also started using MIM. I think some Springfield guns too. And that's very often the failure point.
Let's see that early life section, Ron. Sorry.
I wonder.
But no, like, what a claim to fame going into, like, Kimber. Is a household name.
Yes.
And like, man came in there like the fucking Grim Reaper meme and like cleared out Kimber, made them fail.
I'm sure they made lots of money for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he brought them right around for a couple years until their reputation came to tank. before the reputation of their significantly downgraded products caught up with them.
Yeah.
And by that time, he's already on the train to fucking Sig Sauer, baby.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yep. Like, you can be good with money, but and like you can find limited success in this kind of thing. But the problem is, and I believe this is a problem in politics as well as it is in, you know, positions of financial power, and in terms of like you're the CEO of this company, you can make your CV look really fucking good by saying this is what I did at this company.
Yeah, fucking
Or like
paper
this is
number bullshit.
this is what I did with this country. Like our GDP grew by like this much.
Yep.
Yeah, like our unemployment rate, you know, dropped by this much, but then like no one ever pays attention to the aftermath.
Yeah.
For Kimber, that aftermath was the reputation's fucking ruined. I don't see Kimber anywhere. They're only finally now, years later, finally coming back with like quality products. Allegedly, I hear they're a lot better. I'm not going to be like a guinea pig on that.
100%, and that's the thing.
Yeah, the word on
Like,
the street is that they've come around.
yeah, but like once that reputation's gone, it's fucking gone, and you see that in the industry. Like Tim Kennedy will never be a trusted name ever again. Like,
Yeah.
finally, he's had the serious public outing he is well and truly fucking.
We should get
deserved.
into that. After the Sig-cident, we should get into the Tim-cident.
The Tim-cident. I have one more major thing on the Sig thing, which is
So do I, because I realized I ADHD'd at the beginning. But let's do yours first.
Okay, so Glock Store out in Nashville, they made an announcement.
Yes, along with a billion other people, and I love this.
Yo, yeah, dude. It's like I said, it's Sig-pocalypse. Because people, like, you know, before there was all these like injuries and NDs, and people were like, this is, you know, pretty fucking questionable, and the evidence is pointing towards, like, pretty obviously towards the P320.
Yes.
Or at least there being like a decent amount of them that are whack.
Yes.
And then this incident happens, and a guy loses his fucking life over some Uncle Sam bullshit. But anyway, so Glock Store 3 days ago, so the 23rd, 3 days after the Air Force incident, Glock Store posts, "Attention locals and tourists." They're out in Nashville, so I'm sure it's a similar crowd to Vegas with people coming through.
Yes.
Effective immediately, the P320 is banned from our retail stores, range, and premises until more review. This includes guns in cars, guns concealed on body, or guns in bags. This also includes parts, installations, and optic cuts. We regret that we have had to turn away an unprecedented number of customers wishing to trade their P320s in for Glocks at a significant loss, but we cannot offer cash, trade, or store credit for these guns at this time. Glock Store. So, I mean, their rationale, I think, is completely fair. And people getting a little bit, like, you know, poopy in the comments about guns in cars, but they're responsible for everything that happens on their property. Like,
yes.
If your gun is sitting in your car, your P320, and it goes off, like, they have to deal with that. That's on them. And if you're in a major metropolitan area and a gun goes off on your property and you're a firearm related store, like, you're going to have some bullshit to deal with. So I completely respect it. And not just because I'm like some, like, you know, Weasley Glock fanboy who's, you know, wishing. That's the thing. Like,
people ask. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no. We've talked about this. I think we're probably discussing the same thing. Like, we're both, I would say, really fucking utilitarian. Like, sure, there's some guns that we're like, I love the vibe of it. I want, like, you know, you have a P320 for your Flux Raider because the vibe of Flux.
Yes, and a friend of mine managed to make the striker drop independently of the trigger.
Jesus.
Yeah, there is a test. I'm going to shout out the. He does not probably know that we exist, but the YouTube channel 3 P320s in a trench coat. He demonstrates a test, and there was another one. It was posted on Gun Quality Enforcement. A fellow managed to make his striker drop and set off a dud round, like it was a primer. And the primer went off, and immediately I see the Smooth Brain comments being like, well, why didn't the slide go back? It's like, because it was a fucking primer.
Yeah,
like,
it was light, dude.
Yeah, the gun went off independently of the trigger being depressed fully. So there are multiple tests that you can do to see if the striker can. I believe in mine, the trigger was brought not all the way to the wall, but it was depressed slightly, and the slide was torqued, and it made the striker drop.
Yeah, that's like one of the most common ones is like torquing the slide. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it just like pulls it off to the degree, like where the striker will disengage from the sear, and apparently the firing pin block just isn't adequate because
Yeah.
it is setting off rounds.
Fucking, it's honestly kind of scary, dude. Like,
It is, and like I yeah.
oh, just like being like our chance of being around a P320 going off is higher because we spend more time around a lot of gun people.
We do, but I will say most of the people I know have moved away from the 320. There's a 320X carry owned locally by my friend Hans that you know,
Yeah.
and that also had an uncommanded discharge. And this was a while ago. This was quite a while ago. It was like during slide manipulations, and it was pointing down range. Thankfully,
Yeah.
but
Dude.
like
It-
that was. God, what was it? Yeah, P320X carry, like one of their more expensive options.
Dude, you're seeing the price of these things drop like a rock.
What kind of gets me too is like the discourse is still vitriolic, and there are a lot of defenders. I do think a lot of people like really attach their personality to a brand.
Yes.
And like, don't get me wrong, I like Glock. If Glock started doing this tomorrow, I'd be like, I don't want to recommend these anymore. Like, I think that brand loyalty to a corporation is kind of sad.
Oh,
like,
dude,
you shouldn't define
it's
yourself by the things that you own.
yeah.
like-
You might as well have like a Mickey Mouse tattoo or some
Yeah.
shit.
Hell, like if you wanted to start buying P320s tomorrow because the price in them is bottoming out, and because you think like a third party company will fix these issues, maybe you should do it because that's not the worst idea in the world.
No.
I think like if they or someone fixed the issues, it's not a bad fucking handgun. Like I've shot them enough that actually like when I was just getting back into guns, the P320 was the handgun that I learned on.
Yeah.
Like it was between that and a Glock 17. I really liked both before I knew about these issues. Funny enough, Canadian force like special forces guy, like Ken Softcom, he shot himself in the leg with a P320.
I think they just it looks like they just moved to the Glock 45.
Who did?
Canadian Special Forces. What is it? Can Softcom?
Yeah, it was Ken Softcom. Sig investigated, and they're like, "Oh, well, we found it was a problem with the holster," and everyone
sure.
took it at face value. Like it went around that it like, oh, someone dremeled a P226 holster for it to work, and everyone just believed it. But that's when people trusted Sig, because they've said that so many times since then about so many different incidents that it's kind of clear that they're an unreliable narrator.
And dude, there's like no generations. There's no clear generations to the 320. There's not
There's so many soft updates, and then one soft update creates a new issue, and then that soft update creates a new issue. Like I was talking with someone who I won't dox, but we did a phone call, and he's fairly close to this issue. In his position, he basically builds AKs for a living. He's been on the show before. And what he told me was he just met up for whatever reason with a bunch of SIG engineers, and basically the coffee room, like the coffee table, like water cooler talk around the P320 is like, yeah, this is happening. That's been a known quantity for fucking years.
I'm
But,
sure.
When you're just a ground level engineer, what are you going to fucking do about it?
Oh,
like-
when it's you and your what, like 70K a year versus like the full fucking might of the U.S. military industrial complex machine.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars are into this. Like, you think you coming out are going to change anything? Like,
You'll be lucky to not be pushed down some fucking stairs, dude.
Yeah. Genuinely. Like so much money relies on all of this that even then, seeing incidents where this is really happening to people, and those posts get disappeared, and those people get paid off or whatever, insulted into oblivion by a bunch of mouth breathing retards, being like, "Oh, that never happened. You clearly pulled the trigger into your leg." Like, what gets me too is like now I see less of that and more. It's well, I have a P320 and this has never happened. It's like, yeah, that's kind of how QC fucking works. That's kind of how statistics works.
I'm super glad your gun is running great for you.
Yeah, likewise. I'm happy you got a good one. Like, and that's fantastic. Hopefully, like if you're listening to this, please do the test. Please make sure your striker can't move independently of your trigger. Like, please do that, because like if you don't do that, it could be a numbers game whether you ended up on the right side of that QC coin flip.
Yeah.
If it's not, if you like, if it fails that, please reevaluate, because like you might be ending up with like an accidental circumcision one of these days.
Yeah. Are you gonna trust some guy on an Indian QC line who doesn't give a fuck about the end result of like
Yeah.
if the firearm is safe or not with your fucking balls
Yeah,
or
like
your femoral artery?
exactly. Like like I feel like a lot of these guns sit empty chamber in someone's bedside table.
Yeah.
And like, or like there are some people, like one of my good friends up here, Chad, who's been on the show before, um who shoots a good deal. He has a P320. It's worked fantastic for him, and I'm happy for that. I am. I think after all of this he might be moving on. But like the idea of even 1% of them, or even 0.1% of hundreds of thousands of firearms out there, hundreds of thousands, that's a lot of fucking guns. I said that last show, I say that this show. If it's 0.1% or 1%, 1% of 100 is one gun. 1% of 1,000 is 10 guns. Like, 1% of 100,000 is 1,000 firearms that are capable of doing this. And if yours is fantastic, that's cool. But that is not betting odds for like something that should ostensibly be there to save your life or like defend others.
Shouldn't even have to think about it or perform a test to see if you've got a good one.
No, absolutely. Like, you don't hear about other NDs that are just, happening on their own.
Yeah.
Like, when people come to me and they're like, "Oh, well, you're just a Glock fanboy. Well, like, what would you say should replace the Sig?" And I'm like, "Fucking anything. I don't care. Any I don't even want to say just like any modern striker fire. It's like any Western handgun. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's not the Sig P320, I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, go back to the M9, like, get it, M9A3, fucking PX4, fucking CZ P10s. Like, they own Colt now. Who cares? Like, Glocks are fantastic. Call me a Glock fanboy, but I'll recommend the Smith & Wesson as well. I don't give a shit. Like, the Springfield Echelon, or Echelon, I don't know. Like, anything else, guys. Come on.
Maybe not Springfield. No one can say their fucking names.
Yeah. HS Product, I think, makes their handguns, and they just kind of stamp Springfield on them. I believe they're mostly made in Croatia now, but I don't know that for sure.
Hey, it ain't India.
It ain't India. I do believe Springfield's 1911s are made in country. Yeah.
Well, so anyway, Sig continues to Sig. They are gonna ride this into the fucking ground, and
I think
honestly,
so too. I think admitting any kind of guilt is going to it opens them up to civil liability.
Oh, and plus it puts the NGSW contract at risk. Like,
exactly, and like that's already failing. Like, we have that unfairly good authority that is going tits up.
People don't like it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how it's all gonna end. I'm pretty optimistic in life, but when it comes to government contracts, I'm a fucking outright pessimist. I presume the absolute worst result is what will end up happening.
Yeah, the lowest bidder is going to win this one.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll see if Papa Bill Geisley himself gets to replace the failing NGSW. I'm kind of hoping about it. Like, he's never been on this show, and I've only seen the guy once. He just seems like a dad. He seems like a dad. Like, I use his products. He doesn't even know who I am, other than I've drawn stuff for them before. But I just want him to do well.
Yeah, give Bill Geisley the blood money.
Exactly. Just give him a chance. Like, Daniel Defense had their time in the sun, and then they got the contract for school shooters, and everything went out the window after that.
The school shooter weapon procurement program has been a wild success for Daniel Defense. They got the Mark 18 and then that, and they're set.
Yeah, no, let's give the Super Duty some time in the sun.
God bless. So yeah, Tim-cident. That was a big thing that we haven't discussed.
You're going to have to tell me more about that, because Like I know that Tim Kennedy sucks, and I know that he has a lot of like stolen valor and a lot of talking about why he lied a lot. From my
Okay.
understanding, kind of from the outside, he finally admitted to lying. Like the thing that everyone knew, but now because he's kind of owned up to it, it's free. Like even his stands are like, yeah, fuck you. I
Yeah.
don't know though, so you're going to have to catch me up on it.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not keeping tabs on Tim Kennedy. It's just kind of, everyone in this community, we over the last few years have really, started to recognize brovet culture, what it is,
Yes.
like the war stories, the exaggeration, and don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, this isn't ragging on vets. Like,
No, no, God, no.
I'm
It's
of a military family. A whole bunch of good friends of ours are military dudes.
yeah.
Um, people
Like
have
we've
been,
had a lot of like quote unquote cool guys come on that we really like and maintain active friendships with.
yeah, and guys that don't come on the show, and we just
Yeah,
know, or
100%.
and so anyway, like it. Even though I'm not like a person that lives and dies on people's service record, like I don't give a fuck what unit you were in or whatever the fuck. Like if you have
Yeah,
a story, you have a story.
yeah,
If you can do shit, you can do shit. I think that's cool.
yes,
Um, but I do take issue with people that enrich themselves by lying about like about like killing people. Like
yeah.
like
I,
that's fucking weird, dude.
yeah. It's very like emotionally stunted. I want to say,
Yeah.
and I
So
feel like people will be like, "Oh, you didn't do that. You don't get to say that." It's like, yeah, well, neither did he, I guess.
dude, we live in like a militant culture. Like,
Yeah,
we're doing our end to uphold the citizen rifleman part of that, and Brovets like eh, there's a lot of weird shit, a lot of very
yeah.
Praetorian kind of things, and Tim Kennedy for
Uh,
one, he as a veteran who's like a popular cultural figure, like outright said, I think gun control is a solution,
I
like
remember that
publicly.
2018 interview.
Yep, yep. I think gun control is a great solution.
Yeah,
Didn't think that 18-year-olds should have AR-15s because they're like weapons of war, like crazy shit. And he's tried to walk that back. Whatever, cool. Who
yeah,
gives a
and I think that's just because like
because it was
also the
unpopular.
Overton window has kind of been pushed in regards to guns and gun control. He will say whatever gets him,
Yeah, yeah. He's a public figure. He needs to say
Yeah.
whatever's popular at the minute.
Yes.
So anyway, it's been known by like a lot of friends of ours, a lot of like military professionals who've been in like similar units to him. Uh, that he has exaggerated some of his service. Like,
Yes.
and he's been called out for it for years. He went and did that weird shit in Afghanistan during the withdrawal. Showed up in that fucking awful 511 plate carrier.
I
Uh,
remember that. The 511
yeah,
tac tech, like as soon as I see that, it's like, oh
AIDS.
well, you don't know what you're doing.
No, fuck no. It's
Yeah.
it's weird, and he showed up and honestly endangered their efforts, like the efforts of the professionals on the ground for a photo op.
Yeah.
Just weird shit. But
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'm not of that world. Like these things are just kind of happening in my peripheral, and so
Yes.
on July 8th, Tim Kennedy made a massive fucking statement. Similar. That's why it's the Tim-cident because it's so similar to what Sig did. He called
Yeah.
attention to it. So he'd been on like, his early rise to fame had been from like, I think it was the History Channel or some shit. All of those like special forces versus special forces kind of shows and all
I
that
did
kind of
not
thing.
know that was him because I used to watch that shit religiously when I was a kid.
He had been like just one of multiple like named guys who'd
Yeah.
been in that. I think he was the Vegas bomber who like blew up the Tesla outside the Trump Tower.
Yes.
That guy had been on a show with Tim Kennedy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird. Anyway, weird side note. So Tim Kennedy on July 8th makes this long fucking statement, so bear with me. I want to take full and unequivocal responsibility for a serious mistake. Over the years, I made public statements and gave interviews in which I unintentionally misstated aspects of my military service. Unintentionally misstated. Most notably, I implied directly or indirectly that I had been awarded the Bronze Star with Valor. That is not true, and there is no excuse for it. I never received that honor, and I deeply regret ever suggesting otherwise. That kind of recognition is sacred, It represents extraordinary courage under fire acts that risk or cost lives. To those who truly earned it, and to their families and brothers in arms, I offer my sincere and direct apology. What I said disrespected your service, and I take full ownership of that. I was young when I stepped into the public eye, and while I wasn't prepared for the scrutiny or pressure that came with it, that doesn't absolve me. I should have known better. Integrity is not situational, and I failed to uphold the standards I claim to represent. To the military and veteran community, especially those who've served in combat or lost people they love, I am deeply sorry. I know I've let many of you down. You had every right to expect more from me, and I didn't live up to that. This apology is not the end, it's the beginning. I am committed to rebuilding trust through honest reflection, visible accountability, and ongoing service to the community I misrepresented myself to. I will no longer speak about my service in a way that elevates me beyond what I actually did. From now on, my words will be guided by truth, humility, and respect. Almost there. I understand that words alone don't heal disappointment or restore trust, only time and action will. Thank you to those who have held me accountable. I will do my best to honor that accountability from this point forward. Tim Kennedy.
I actually feel kind of conflicted on that. I
Well, so
understand that he's still a public figure and he wants money, but like in my heart of hearts, if he was genuine, I don't know how he would have done it any other way. Like
well,
if he was like he very easily could have just not done that. I don't know if he was backed into a corner and that would change things, obviously.
so I mean, people have been calling him out for years, and it's
Yes,
been
100%.
you know,
And like he
and
could have just continued to not say anything because clearly that's worked for years.
well, personally, I'm not going to give him a fucking iota of credit. Like
Yeah,
the man,
I am still not.
you know,
I've
like
never liked him regardless.
yeah, like
But
th-
you know, I feel like I would be like this wouldn't make me like the guy, but I don't want to say like I
it
should
means
celebrate
nothing.
that either. I
Yeah,
we don't know him. We don't know if it's genuine or not. But I would rather he did that than just continue to deflect. I think.
yeah. I think it's good that he finally admitted that he fucked
Yes.
up, but it's like it's too late, dude. Like
Yes. He
you
shouldn't have done
have
it to fucking begin with.
no, you have enriched yourself off of a false premise for years.
Yes.
It's no different to like every crybaby Navy SEAL that like all of his buddies got fucking shot, and then he comes home and writes the book and sells the movie rights and all that, and paints himself as like this big fucking action man. Looking at Mark Wahlberg and the Lone Survivor movie, like the guy behind that. I won't get into it, but I have heard some pretty fucking brutal things from dudes who went and rescued him and know
Yes, I heard about that today.
the
Like
full extent of the story.
someone else was left behind.
Yeah, like
Not
that.
fantastic stuff. Definitely worth looking into if you want to
Yeah,
hear the.
it's you know unfortunately quite common
Yeah.
that these war stories that get turned into like multi-million-dollar like propaganda are not fucking true.
Yes.
It's the guys who fucking retire. They go to their farm and they shut the fuck up, and they're just a quiet professional who like does their thing, but isn't like addicted to the limelight. Like
I
those
agree.
fucking the egomaniacs that are using a job. These special forces guys, they're meant to be silent professionals, right?
Yeah.
And like you see so many of them like fucking itch under their skin to like the second they're out get their payday for being America's action man, and
Yeah.
it's pretty gross,
It
especially with
really is.
the wars that we've been fighting. It's like I think you can conduct yourself somewhat honorably in dishonorable wars. Like you
Yes.
can when you're a young guy, like just signing up for adventure, you've been lied to. Like you can
Yes.
still look out for the guys to your left and right,
It's
and
part of why I really like Slade
yeah,
and
yeah,
Fred and all of them who've come
yeah.
on because they're very honest about that. Sorry, continue.
100 no 100%, and those guys absolutely deserve the credit for like how they carry themselves, how they kind of reflect, what they do for young guys who are now asking them should I go in, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. The flip side of that is these guys who their whole personality for years was based on like half truths, exaggerations. Like Tim Kennedy has some fucking whack accounts of like shooting child soldiers and like doing the whole American sniper like cry for me, I killed some kids like stuff. Like
Yeah.
who knows how much of it's fucking true?
Yeah,
Like
therein lies the problem. Like, he's an unreliable narrator.
yeah, and it's
Like,
fucking weird. And I think he was just backed into a corner, like because people were a lot of people who were on his deployment where he like allegedly performed the acts that would have got him the Bronze Star that he wasn't awarded, and were like, that's not how things went down. And I don't know why it came to a head in 2025. Like, I think maybe we're just now in the age where, like, I don't know the backstory of how it came to a head, but we are in an age where anyone can basically create a platform if they have a compelling enough story. So I don't
yes.
know. I don't know
Or
what led to
sometimes
it.
people without a compelling story. Sometimes people just for the sake of being entertaining.
100%. So I don't know if it was someone from his unit. I saw like a couple of videos. I don't know if it was after this announcement or not, but basically a guy that had been on his deployment, like just regular ass dude who was just like, nah, man, that's not what happened. And so whatever, it came to a head. He finally owned up to it, and uh, is he a better person going forward? He's still, his career now exists. He is a person who has made who knows what kind of money off of stories that didn't
That he
happen, off
didn't
of
do. Yeah.
yeah, a
100%. Like,
reputation
the
that
damage
he
is done.
deserved. Yeah,
But
so it's it's weird, man. Yeah, I don't want to prattle on about Tim Kennedy for too long, but it's just one of those things. Like, I hope going, I don't know if America's culture will ever escape the risk of these kind of stories. Like, I think we'll always have these false idols who come and go, who are like, oh man, this guy was such like he embodies the American warrior ethos. Like, this is a guy to be. This is the kind of person that like young men should look up to, and then
yeah.
they're let down by because it's made up bullshit. It's a fairy tale.
Yeah. You're not
Um,
wrong at all. It's just like part of me, and like I 100% also acknowledge, like, I'm not a fan of Tim Kennedy. I've never been a fan of Tim Kennedy. I mostly only know about Tim Kennedy because of his gun control statements, and then everything else kind of came to me.
and just
But
just
like,
being like
yeah,
he's one of those people. Like, I have never once searched Tim Kennedy. He's just
yeah,
kind of like forced on me.
yeah, he's kind of like in the peripherals of the circles that we run in,
Yeah,
so we're subjected to a lot of it. And I never want to be like a drama page. I never want to
no,
like,
that shit's
but like
gay.
I feel like he's high enough profile that, and I also like acknowledge, and I like the idea, and again I acknowledge that the damage is done, and I have no interest in Tim Kennedy regardless. That maybe he had nothing to gain from this, and he just had a change of heart. Maybe he
Maybe
genuinely does feel guilty about this. He's already made his money, so like that's not going anywhere. But this has done nothing but tank his career further, um, because like Tim Kennedy's in everyone's mouths now, and no one's defending him anymore.
yeah.
It's
It,
and
it's a similar situation to Sig.
Yeah,
Like,
except Sig doubled, tripled down. Tim
yeah.
Kennedy was actually like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I did this, and there's no excuses." And whether that's genuine or not remains to be seen. Maybe we'll never see. I don't know. I just, you know, it's a tough one. And while he doesn't really have any of my sympathy, um, I do feel like if he was feeling genuine, that's how he'd go about it. If he wasn't feeling genuine, that's probably also still how he'd go about it. But I don't want to like poo-poo the guy I already didn't really like very much based on that alone, because I don't want to get in the precedent of when someone really does apologize and they do mean it, for the world to just be like, yeah, fuck you, you're a piece of
Yeah.
shit and we owe you nothing. I want to give the benefit of the doubt. Will I interact with you? Probably not. I already wasn't
God,
going
I
to.
hope not.
Yeah, I don't think we ever will, and I have no interest in ever interacting with him. But
Yeah.
I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater immediately. If he does come around and starts doing things that are just better, or like he just disappears in the just out of the limelight, and we find out he's been, I don't know, like volunteering in Uganda or something in quietly in 10 years. um I'll take that. I just, I want to say that the human spirit can be redeemed. Like,
I
whether
I
this is
think
true or not remains again to be seen.
yeah, I think it can be like, you know, it's not like he killed a guy like negligently or something.
Yeah, like there are consequences to him lying,
Yeah.
but like, you know, just like it is such a believable story that he's like freshly out of the service and like he's a young dumb kid, and he just exaggerates. He says stuff like I've got into this before. It's like the whole brovet thing, where a lot of former servicemen aren't brovets, but a lot of them are. I think a lot of that is like during a lot of your developmental years, you are taught that all of this shit is good. Like
Yeah.
you are emotionally stunted by design, by a system that is like feeding you all this shit, like, oh, you're the tip of the spear, like what's your job, kill kill kill, like
Yeah.
I think it is, like, I'm sure this happens in a lot of the world, but is very distinctly American for our hero worship for our veterans, which, like, again, I'm not really against, but I just wish it you know they practiced what they preached and didn't treat veterans like shit. Like I wish that people who served actually got treated well. Instead, it's just this empty lip service and hero worship, which is disingenuous because that's just to get more like poor 18-year-olds. Like 18-year-olds see guys in the military and they're like, yeah, I want to be that. Like I want to be a SEAL. I want to go kill people for Halliburton. Um,
Dude,
and yeah,
it's a conversation I know I've had it like
yeah,
hundreds of times. I'm sure you've had it in a
yeah,
similar way, but like, a lot of our like, I feel like a lot of a decent part of our listenership are like younger brothers to us. They're like
100%.
guys like a few years younger than us who are, looking for someone who's a similar age, but who's had like a little bit more life experience, who's into the same stuff, has a
Yeah,
similar mindset.
100%.
Um, and like, especially the last few years, like with how tough jobs got during COVID and stuff, so many
Yeah,
people would like reach out to me and be like, dude, should I go in? Like, I want to do something with my life. I want to prove that I can do this stuff. And
yeah,
it's like, man, you can. Like you
yeah. Like you're you. Just don't expect that to solve your problems.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you think like us, you're gonna have a bitch of a time. Like
Yes.
you trust me, you are perfectly capable of going into the military voluntarily and being effective. If you're like a healthy fighting age male, like you can do it. Like
Yes.
as long as you don't quit shit, and you're not a fat piece of shit, like yeah, you can do it. My skinny ass could do that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was fine. And it it sucks because I think a lot of young guys, they don't have like a goal that they have in mind to complete at that age, and they're just like, yeah, like, at least one enlistment sounds about right to like prove to myself I'm worth a damn. And it's like,
Yeah. It's very
and
much by design, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And then, we also have like plenty of friends that are like, our age or a couple of years older who, have been there and done that, and
Yeah.
they're like our age and their bodies are fucking broken.
Yeah.
And it's
Uh,
like, dude, was it worth like, all
yes.
love in the world to you guys out there who are in that position, but like if you were speaking to your younger self and they asked like, was it worth it? Like so many of you would say no,
Yeah.
dude. Like just go out and ruck and like have that male camaraderie with like shooting buddies and like,
Yeah.
do like male centric activity if you need that in your life, if you need
Yeah.
that
I
companionship.
I very rarely meet people who are like, yes, that was like. I meet a lot more people who regret it than people who are like, yes, this is what I should have done. I was built for this.
Yeah.
Like more often than not, it's people counting down the days until they get out of their contract.
Yep.
And
Now, like there's this the special forces psychos. Like I know a couple of those too. Like
yeah,
namely the ranger guys who are like, dude, like this made me who I am, and I get that.
yeah.
Like
My friend, I'll refer to him as W. We talked about him very briefly on the last podcast with the Ryan Training Group. I fucking love that guy. He never stopped being a ranger.
Oh
He
no,
is
dude.
still a ranger.
Once you become a ranger, that is like it is one personality type, and it's like
Yeah.
autistic ranger. And
Yes, 100%. This guy, like, I want him to do the RADS test so bad. I bet his score is going to be like 200 plus, and all of that bandwidth, all 200 points, have gone into being a ranger.
dude,
Like, and he's one of my favorate people.
don't get me wrong. I love ranger dudes. They are like fucking. You wanna look at like Astartes from Warhammer 40k. Like rangers are the first step towards that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like guys who are autistic as fuck about being effective, performance, and like being in shape.
Yes.
But like they're as autistic as the more autistic than the average listener of this show.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, they are human weapons. And once
Yes,
you do that,
Yeah.
that is who you are. Like that
Yeah.
is your personality.
It's
Whatever the
never
fuck
going to
you were
stop with this
before.
guy. He's going to be like this for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, he's one of my favorite people to be around because he's just a wealth of knowledge in like every way to end another human being's life.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love that.
yeah, me too. And it's always people who deserve it for this guy. He's always like yeah, like I'm helping plan an op to like smack child traffickers. I'm like, fuck yeah, bud. Like I want to be a fly in the wall. And
Yeah.
like he always wants to train. He's so passionate about it. He wants to train other people. But like, fuck me, man. Like once you're a ranger, he brought some of his buddies to the kill house one day, and we had some flashbangs, and one of them's like, yeah, hell yeah, like I'll go into that room. You should flashbang me. I want to see how it is, and we just did it. And he's like, they're just a different breed.
They are.
Yeah.
I think I don't know what these guys were like before they went in. I think if you're a dude who's like tragically born without a personality, like maybe consider the Rangers.
Yeah.
I think you probably have to have some kind of like
I will say
personality to
other
survive that process.
yeah, he is he's one of my favorite people, and is like surprisingly well balanced for having gone through kind of like special forces pipeline.
Yeah.
Like he's not weird and emotionally stunted. He's just
Yeah.
autistic.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I would say to most people, probably don't go in. Just fucking get a solid shooting group of guys that actually give a fuck.
Yeah, and like
And-
take it seriously if you want. Don't take it seriously if you don't want. Like, just you know, I don't know. Just do what makes you happy. I guess this is my big brother advice. Do what makes you happy, but don't expect the government's going to give you happiness because they won't.
Fuck no. There's like I was saying, there's so many people I know, and a lot of people like who asked my opinion. I
Yeah.
gave it to them. They went in anyway.
Yeah.
A year down the line, they're like, "BR, I fucked up." I'm like,
Yeah.
bud. I told you. I told you.
I've
Now
had
you-
that happen too a couple times. I'm like,
Yep.
my guy, like, I don't want to say I told you so. Like, I respect the fact you had the autonomy to make this decision. And I did not expect to be the person to talk you out of it. That being said, like, now's not the time to be upset about it. Now's the time to weigh your options and see.
Yep.
What
Just
you can
make sure you can transition back into civilian life.
Yeah.
And
Like,
have some skills to show for it.
Yeah, there's no point in being upset over things you can't control. Use that energy instead of being upset to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, change your situation.
I mean, dude, like not to say that like everyone who goes through the military is like has no options or anything.
Yeah,
but
and not everyone is upset about it either. Like more often than not, people regret it. In my narrow window into the world to see who regrets it and who doesn't. But I'm sure there's people who fucking love it. I just know some of those people are fucking insufferable though. I've met some of them.
Yeah, and usually like they're not our people. Like we like we've been saying, we've had plenty of military dudes who we get along with, but it's usually because like they probably shouldn't have been there in the first place because they were kind of like had a little bit of rebellion in their heart, and they did the military thing. They survived it without getting dishonorably discharged, but really they need to be like a fucking feral human being off in the woods, and that's where they're happiest. And having that autonomy stripped from you for 4+ years is rough. But a little bit of self-fellatio.
Yeah.
Like personally, me last I've been in the US coming up like right around 7 years. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I went in.
Yeah.
Um, I would have got out in 2022. So I would have and I probably would have been fucked somehow, especially with the British military with COVID with getting out. They probably would have like forcibly retained me or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But uh, I am now at a place where after 7 years of busting my ass, I own a little bit of land. Not
Yes.
much. Not much. But we just closed on a property out in Appalachia, and I have 2 acres
Yes.
to
Thank
play with.
God.
Dude.
If
And
someone lives near BR and owns a excavator or something, please message him.
no,
He wants to
seriously.
make a range and he's too nice to ask himself. Yes, congratulations. This is why we've been a little slow lately. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
No, this
BR's
has
life has been in
been
a big transition, and so has mine, but his a lot more so because he has land now. He's living the fucking dream.
yeah,
I'm
thank you,
not
man.
jealous. I'm not jealous.
Hey man, I would love to have you out here at some point to
I
come and
would love
see
that.
it, but actually you
It'll
will be
happen
out.
sooner than later, I'm sure.
Yeah, you will be out here for the wedding. So
Yeah.
yeah, that dude, fucking crazy. Like getting married and buying a place in the same year. But fuck it, we did it, or
Yes.
at least we've done the property. We'll
Yes.
see about the wedding. We'll make.
You'll make it. I believe in you. I habib
Yeah,
in you. Um,
but
I think it's everything's looking upwards, but yeah. I, I think having a place to shoot on your own, if your neighbors aren't weird and gay and retarded, is going to be fantastic.
oh, dude, it's gonna be massive. And Phil and I will have a studio space for like more photography, more like video filming and stuff. So it's gonna be cool to kind of have the creative freedom to do that.
Yeah.
PPTF has a proper fulfillment space going forward. So
Yes.
just like Nathan said, apologies for kind of the inconsistency on a few things with me being kind of in flux with this. It's like the biggest thing I've done aside from moving countries and moving across the states. Like both of those were motherfuckers. Don't get me wrong, but this was also big. So should like I'm currently sitting in a empty home that only
You
has
are.
like
I was going to
yeah,
say it's
dude
not full of
my
cats and books.
no, my I've got my desk and my recording setup, and then like a couple of boxes and some things of paint,
Yes.
and
I
that is
appreciate
it.
you joining me on literal moving day too. I'm texting him. He's like, "Yeah, like no, I'm moving right now. The
Yeah,
room is empty, but
I'm
give me 20
disassembling
minutes
my
to put my
desk.
desk together."
Yep. No, it's all good. It had to happen at some point. I'm glad. My permanent setup is now over here, and it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I was at your old house too. It wasn't bad or anything. It's just like
No,
that's a big step up.
the air mattress that you stayed on took up like half of the living room to give
It was funny.
to give listeners some kind of perspective, and now we've got a little bit more breathing room. Like this will be the place that we have our first kid in. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like honestly, it's cool enough I could fucking cry if I sit and think about it too long. Like it's gonna be so cool to have a family home where we can have a kid, we can do homeschooling here, we can there's room for them to play without like worrying about a weird band coming up and chucking our kid in it. Like they can be kids.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
yeah, I'm super excited to. Well, we're super excited to start a family, be married. And God, we did own a house in Arizona, but it was in Phoenix. Like
Yeah. So
I
effectively, did you end up getting rid of it?
yeah. Well, yeah, we couldn't have got this
Yeah.
place without selling that. So we sold it. All I could do, like, I'm too fucking like German work ethic minded. I landscaped the backyard in Phoenix, and that was awesome. But there wasn't anything else I could do. Like we had a garden, and my poor lady, she had this beautiful like veggie garden that was it was doing pretty good despite the Arizona heat, and then eventually, like a certain point in the summer, like everything just got scorched. Like
Yeah,
just
Arizona
one
summers.
day, yeah, we had misters and like a whole like water system and shades and everything, and still like we were like, yeah, it was a nice thought. We did grow some produce, like we had peppers, and we even had like some veggies like lettuce and carrots and a few other things that we were like in our total flower child fucking stage when all the weird vaccine shit was going on and food was getting fucked. Like the food quality was decreasing like horrendously in stores. We were like, okay, fuck this. Even though we live in Phoenix, we're gonna start growing our own stuff. But then there was this like awkward transition phase of moving to Appalachia, not being able to. We had to like rent out that house, and then we blindly rented a place here, and we just had to do that for the last 2 years. So finally, we own our home again, and we can kind of go crazy in the back with gardens and
Yes, be self-sustaining, not so
yeah.
dependent on a fucking grocery store.
Oh, dude, yeah. I want to get away from that. So
Yes.
I'll be spending some time building my lady some garden beds and doing all that good stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking exciting, dude. It's what I moved to this country 7 years ago to do, and I explained that so like hardcore to my woman when she was like, maybe we go somewhere a little bit more suburb, and I'm like, no,
No.
I want to be the fuck
Yeah,
away
you
from
want to be
people.
away from people where you're somewhat self-sufficient, not like between, like an insurance adjuster and
Yeah,
a fucking, I don't know, like an orthodontist.
dude, our old house in Phoenix backed up onto like this industrial lot. Like I could see trucks parked up against our garden. Like I had this beautifully landscaped like desert rock garden kind of oasis, and then there's just like fucking trucks parked against our back wall, and it was awful.
Man, that would drive me fucking crazy.
Dude, Phoenix was the first city I lived in.
Yeah.
Like I it's like the fifth biggest one in the country. It might have gone up since then, but yeah, I'm after all this time in the States, I'm finally able to return to my country bumpkin roots. So
Yes.
that has been a massive relief. So
I love
you
that.
know, yeah,
You
yeah.
have rabbits in your backyard
Oh yeah, I'll be popping those little bastards with a
with a suppressed 22.
yeah, yep, suppressing my 1022 and be getting to that. But yeah. So
No, that's
yeah,
huge, and that is going to be so good
dude,
for
yeah,
just like you. It's one step closer towards the dream, and
yeah,
I'd
100%.
argue it's probably like the biggest step towards the dream.
Yeah, like I don't think this is like the forever home. I think this
Yeah,
will be like a great place for like, maybe our first and maybe second kid to like,
yeah.
live and start their life, and hopefully in a couple of years we'll I don't know if we'll stay out in Appalachia. I love Appalachia, but the West does call to me.
The West is fantastic.
I
I
fucking love
like
the
the
West
West a
so
lot.
much.
It's
It
so good. I
it's
don't want
where
to be
my
anywhere
heart
else.
is.
Yeah,
Nah, dude. So
come live the mountain life with me.
oh, I'm gonna take my lady out your way soon, and
Yes,
hopefully get her hooked on that the Northwest
we
lifestyle.
just
But
have to avoid that one Deary gas station attendant.
uh, or I could shoot the one racist in Idaho, and then we're good. No, no, I know he's not the one, but he's the one, he's the one that you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, so no, it's big, and once again, much love and thank you for everyone's patience with the show being a little inconsistent. We're gonna be dialing it back in now that this weird. Honestly, this year is just kind of fucked. Next
yes,
year, I'm going to be clear and free. Like
yes.
we.
It's been fucked, but like for good reasons.
Oh yeah, that's what I
Um,
was saying. My lady was kind of like having a little bit of a down spiral today, just with stress, and she's like,
yeah, moving is like the biggest pain in the dick.
yeah. She's like, we gotta move all this stuff, and fortunately, like we've got our rental for the next month, so we can do like a nice slow move, which
Yeah,
is good instead of like a panicked like grab everything.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll be slowly doing that, and then but she was like, man, we're moving and we're getting married, and our family is coming from all over the world, like here, like there's there's a lot of crazy shit, and she's got some other like her equivalent of like art and war. She also does like a thing outside of work that's big and takes up a lot of
Yes,
her time.
it takes her out of the country even.
Yeah, and so like she's doing that, and like freaking out about all these things we have to do. I'm like, all right, it is a lot. You're correct, but think about it. Like a couple of years ago, all of our stresses were like a lot of them were fucking negative as shit, and
Yeah.
we've moved ourselves to a place where all of our biggest stresses are entirely positive.
Yes.
Like these are all good things. It's Phil's been saying this thing recently that I love. He's like kind of foreboding good mantras like success is inevitable. There is no way you will not succeed. Like this kind of like that kind of thought process, like just that vibe. And I'm like, that's kind of real. Like as long as you gotta think about how many low effort people are in this world who just like, and you know, with love are content being like a Walmart cashier, and like
Yeah.
they got that job at 18 and they would happily do that into
Yeah.
their 60s.
And I respect it if it makes them happy. It's not me, but like I'm
Yeah.
not going to knock them. It's just
No, it's a life, but like like for those of you who listen and internalize and are all about like, you know, living a better life day by day, like if you just fucking headbutt it,
yeah.
and it is a grind a lot of the time. I mean, every generation has their fucking struggles, but like, you know, times they are not getting any easier. But
No.
if you just fucking headbutt shit and generally aim yourself in a positive direction, like things happen.
Yes, I agree entirely. You made things happen over a really like a couple of years even, and like I pay attention. Believe it or not, like I interact with a good amount of listeners, and I pay attention to their lives too, and just like how far a lot of people have come. The little
Oh,
brother
dude.
thing,
Yeah, no, I love
much
it,
bigger
dude.
brother. Like
Yeah. We got bigger brothers, we got little brothers, we
Yeah.
got, you know, little and big sisters. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's people all over them, and we have a couple dads out there who like you and me are like dad,
Yeah.
too. But
Bill Geisley,
Bill Geisley,
he doesn't even
They're-
know who I am.
Reed Knight.
Yes, Reed Knight, who I have met and have had a really good. I've brought this up on the show before. I have a T-shirt with his mugshot on it and it says "Booze cruising with my homeboy Reed Knight." And now I've met him. I'm like, I can't in good conscience wear this. He's so nice.
Fuck.
Like he was so nice. Do you mind if we take just a minute? I'm sorry, I gotta.
Oh no.
I had that black coffee near the beginning of the show, and now I owe the poop man money. I'll be right back.
And we're back in the room.
Hello,
Poop
I
man
gave
has
the
been
poop man
paid.
money, but he's I still owe him interest, so
I'll be back.
he'll be back. I'm drinking another black coffee and it's 7:20 p.m. But
Jesus.
gosh, yes. What were we talking about a second ago?
I think we kind of like circle jerked on BR living finally after 7 years
Yes,
achieving
character development.
cutting a small part of the American dream out for himself. So
Yes.
we could probably put that to rest. Everyone's Brit Bong coming up,
Yes.
and Canuck coming up soon also.
Yes, I'm excited to. I will be honest, I haven't really been doing much lately. I felt a little bit of burnout, which kind of sucks. Summer's been good. I've been pretty happy. I just haven't really felt, and that's on me. I'm kind of getting my mojo back as the days go on. Like I feel pretty good about getting back into things, but I don't know what happened. It's been a little bit, and it's only starting to just clear up now. Kind of like the dark clouds of the heart or some shit.
Oh no, I do have a thing on that. Like I
Yeah,
think
go ahead.
with us, like we are, you know, whether we like it or not, cultural pundits. Like
Yes.
things happen and we
Yes.
talk about them. We
Yeah.
discuss shooting culture on this show.
Yes.
And there really hasn't been that much going on.
There
Like,
hasn't been, and I noticed, and I brought this up kind of last time. I think kind of because of that, people have been a lot more negative lately, and that
yeah.
burns me out, man. Like
people like
Yeah.
when nothing's going on, the thing that goes on is us eating each other. And
yeah,
it's
everyone turned
retarded.
on each other really fast. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, like that, like constant negativity just burns me out. I'm kind of coming to terms with like, as someone who is like as out there as I am in terms of just like, oh hell yeah, like let's try these guns by mouthfeel. Oh, there's some crackheads over there. Let's farm them for XP. All that like bullshit. Like the fun, like the fun silly things that keep the show funny that I am constantly just dribbling in polite company. I'm a little bit of a sensitive boy. I think. I think I got feelings, and I can't ignore them.
We are a show with feels. I think all the dudes involved in this show are like, apart from Lucas is just kind of out there doing his
yeah.
thing. But
Lucas is he got a rad score
Lucas-
of like 6.
yeah, Lucas is a fucking savage. He's just out there in Dubai, like full well knowing the place is built on slavery and cool with it. But like,
Yeah. I mean, like, whatever, you know, is free labor. I mean, like, I hold my wallet a little tighter every time I see a black guy, not necessarily because I think I'll take it, but because, I still think I can buy him.
oh my god. All right.
He'll still steal it from me, though. I'm so sorry. I stole that joke. It was from a reel.
Oh Jesus. Well, anyway,
Yes. What was I talking about?
being a sensitive boy.
Yes. I kind of came to terms with that. Like, I can count the amount of times that I've cried as a grown adult, probably on like 2 hands, and an entire one of those hands comes from the game Death Stranding 2, which you need to play. It just hit me. It hit me so hard. I hear the theme song now. I'm just like, nope. It's the time. It's the time for me to be sensitive. It's time for me to cry in my car alone while I'm driving to Walmart.
That's I those games look good. However, I haven't been a PlayStation guy since the PS3.
Well, fuck you.
It was mainly because of Resistance Fall of Man,
Resistance 4 was good.
Ratchet and Clank,
Yeah.
fucking. Was there any
All the
others?
Resistance games were good. I'm kind of sad they just got rid of them quietly.
Yeah, they just kind of died like an
Killzone, yeah.
unceremonious death. Yeah. But I kind of like fell off with PlayStation because like a lot of those games, like PlayStation being like or Sony being very Japanese, like they start to get into that weird like anime territory that I'm allergic to.
I think you can avoid it if you want. I would never really got into like Final Fantasy or any of the more BB stuff.
It's not even it's not even that. Like Kojima, like what I see from like Death Stranding, like the bad guy with the fucking like crying golden mascara and the guitar.
That was entirely like 90s metal. It was he was doing a 90s metal thing. Like a 90s hair metal.
I don't get it.
Yeah, like, you don't have to get it. Just let Kojima be Kojima.
What the fuck? One second it's Norman Reedus with like a little fucking fetus in like a satchel.
You'd get it all if you played Death Stranding. Everyone's like, oh, it's a walking simulator. It's like, no, it's a beautiful story about a father. Shut up. Just do it. I promise you, without being able to say anything about it or explain any of those things, one, I promise everything is explained fucking somehow, and 2, it's beautiful and you'll love it. Like it's one of those things. Like explain Star Wars Episode 4 in like, or like explain your favorite piece of media in just words, and it generally sounds like dog shit. And I feel like Death Stranding, like being condensed into, and I'll shut the fuck up. I'm a Kojima stan. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid since I was a child. But I genuinely think that you would like it. Like I'm not just saying that. I think like anyone who's listening to this would probably like it. Anyone who's like, oh, it's a walking simulator. It's like, shut up. You don't get the nuance of this game that's built around a world that is built around helping people as opposed to hurting. And also you can't hurt people. It's your choice. You can do whatever, but it's nice and it's beautiful and it makes me feel things, and you should shut up.
All right. I have one question about Death Stranding.
Yes.
Like, is this a world where like fertility has basically dropped off a fucking cliff? Is that why he's carrying the baby?
No, if I explain it, it's going to sound stupid, but I will try anyways if you want. Like it's one of those ridiculous premises that's so well written and acted and directed that like you suspend your disbelief and it makes sense. Like for the world, it's enough. Whereas there has been more or less like an apocalyptic event in which like basically like purgatory, hell, whatever you want to call it, and the normal mortal world have collided, and that it resulted in a near extinction event where most people are dead.
So it's
Like
like post rapture kind of thing.
post rapture, there's like spirits that are innately hostile are kind of everywhere.
Hmm.
Um, they are like the world of the dead and the world of the living have collided in a way where like there's a scientific aspect and kind of a supernatural aspect. And the scientific part of the scientific aspect is particles have been kicked into the atmosphere, which makes wireless transmissions almost impossible.
Hmm.
Um, but they've kind of found a way to route data through the afterlife effectively, like massive amounts of data. But you, Mr. Sam Porter Bridges, Mr. Norman Reedus, and his fetus are tasked with essentially like carrying around the key to setting this network up and walking through a miniaturized version of all of America
Hmm.
to reconnect the entire country. And like everyone's living in small towns or cities in isolation. Like the biggest cities are like 100,000 people around. Like like most of the population has just been wiped out. 99% of the population is just gone in an instant. If a corpse happens, like if someone commits suicide, which happens at the beginning of the first game, and their corpse is left for too long, it'll just basically turn into a nuke. Like the effectively think of like matter and dark matter meeting, and it just creates like a burst of energy, which effectively like craters a couple square miles.
Hmm.
So it can just like wipe a city like that. Um, what the babies are is basically like an experiment, and again like we're getting into like weird dark like black science, and this being totally unethical is a major plot point. Where they take brain dead mothers and like they extract their babies, um, and the baby kind of like in a state of embryonic like stasis more or less creates a like it's connected with the afterlife, if that makes any sense. Like there's ghosts and monsters and these creatures that are totally invisible for the average person to see, but the babies can see them, so they're basically used as an early warning detection system.
Huh.
But they're used as tools. When they stop working, they're thrown in an incinerator.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So all of this, like I'm trying to explain this ridiculous premise, which makes sense in universe,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh, it's just a walking simulator. It's like you're missing a lot of the point. The closest game I could probably compare it to is like a better Metal Gear Solid 5, if that makes
Hmm.
any sense. Like a kind of free roam, not entirely combat focused, but lots of combat. Some of the most beautiful boss fights that I've ever seen in a game. Um, but like out of context, it looks fucking retarded.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you'll
It's
feel things, I promise. Even you.
what I feel everything. I am a
That you will
fucking
definitely feel things.
sponge. I
This got my ass. Like,
huh.
this got my fucking stupid ass.
See, I probably come across as like quite like uptight on the show.
No, I don't think you're uptight.
Mm, well, I don't know. I definitely have like some
Yeah.
British isms. Like I'm more reserved generally
Yeah.
than most people. But
Yeah.
it's funny like listening to you explain that. It's like
Yeah.
since I got back into painting Warhammer like a childhood
Yeah.
like joy of mine while I edit the show because I'm either staring at waveforms or I'm staring at little miniatures, and I'd rather do the latter while I edit. Like my I explained the universe of Warhammer to my lady like maybe a year ago, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, where do I start? Okay, so there's this guy, the Emperor of Mankind,
Yes.
he's basically like Jesus and God, but he doesn't believe he's that, but all of humanity thinks he's that. Anyway, oh my
Yeah,
I will
it's like the trying to explain high concept science fiction
yeah.
to someone who like with no other context is so fucking difficult because there's no way to make it sound not stupid.
Yeah, you're like, no, I swear it's so much cooler than it
Yeah.
sounds.
Like
It's
I gosh, I think you'll like this world, man. It's
I
out for
probably
the first one's out for everything. The first one you can get for fucking iPad. The second one's PlayStation 5 exclusive.
I've only got Xbox.
Well, that sucks to suck, I guess.
I know.
I think it might be out on Xbox, the first one.
Really?
I think it might be. You should look it up.
Let's see,
Death Stranding, Xbox.
Huh.
Yep.
In
I
2024.
feel like it'll be a PS5 exclusive for a while, and then the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
one will come out for Xbox in a couple of years.
That actually leads us into another cool thing. But it looks like people are getting a lot looser on exclusives. Like it's more like
I think so too.
like a period of exclusivity before it gets
Yeah.
shared. Now that like cross-compatible platform gaming is
Yeah.
becoming like more and more common.
Yes.
But,
Speaking of Ready or Not,
Ready or Not, police
Yes.
brutality as
Police brutality sim.
simulator.
censored police brutality sim to
Now-
apply with 80 different laws and regulations from around the world. Regional ones, I guess, maybe, and also significantly worse graphics than it used to have. But it's still fun. I'm still going to play it.
Yeah, like dude, the gameplay footage, I've always like watched that and been like, Jesus, really? Like, there's like a whole generation of people who one of the best shooters available to them is just a police brutality simulator. But it does look pretty cool outside of the obvious crimes against humanity you commit every session.
Yes. I will say, like, I kind of love it because, like, one of my tisms, and I realize, like, a lot of people won't like this. I love CQB. Like, I love it. Like, I wouldn't love to do it in real life. Sounds fucking awful. But I really like doing it in a controlled environment because
They're like procedural.
yeah,
I mean,
the procedural stuff, and that stuff all works so well. And if you want like the proof in the pudding for like, oh shit, like this all has validity to it in some way, get a couple guys that know the same SOPs that you do, and go play Ready or Not because holy shit, it works. Like,
I think it's one of those things where it's like anything. Like if you have a band of dudes who like, you know, all practice together, or
Yeah.
like, you know, like you have a woodland group who like goes and sets up, you know, patrol bases, and you know,
Yes.
you do recce stuff in the woods. Like if you have a group of dudes who practice it enough and you just know what to do together, like it's
automatic.
I think that's one of the most satisfying things like a warm-blooded man can feel is like, you know, having a group of disciplined dudes who know how to do something together, like to a high degree, is very satisfying. And
Yes.
you know, even while you're learning that stuff, you know, working out with a group of dudes who are like, you know, have good form and can give each other advice and all that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like it's all good stuff. It's all
I agree.
what our monkey brains are built for.
Yeah. And I really like this fucking game, and I know there's a lot of controversy around it. I really want you to get it. I do think I want you to be one of the boys that does this video game, this piece of entertainment, this piece of media that I'm currently consuming.
My first time playing, I'll shoot like a fucking single father of 4 in the head.
Oh, dude, I straight up did
unarmed.
yesterday. Like, I'm in this Vietnamese family's house. I told you about this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like they're 3D printing auto sears, and the visual storytelling is like the father has a gambling addiction, this is what I'm getting out of it anyway. I might be wrong. Like, someone may have watched the Wendigoon video that I've not seen and been like, no, this is the lore actually. But like this Vietnamese dad has a gambling addiction or something, and his kids need money to pay for it. So they
like
get
good,
into like
good children.
yeah, 3D printing auto sears, and they're like selling stuff in like blackmarketmachineguns.com or something like that.
Base.
And you're raiding the house, and like one of the kids pulled a gun on me, and immediately like I shot him. I yelled at him to drop it, and then he shot me, so I shot him. And I'm holding my like long security, and I've got my gun in the general area, and immediately his elderly father, completely unarmed, runs around the blind corner directly into my muzzle, and I shoot him in the face. I'm like, oh shit, no! I did a police brutality.
I'm gonna be. I'll play like my first mission in that game ever, and I'm just gonna have like an existential crisis, just like staring at my virtual hands.
Yeah, you just like there's this mission where it's like 100%. It's designed to make people like us and probably most people feel kind of bad because
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of veterans and like while you're shooting them because there's not a lot of ways to take them alive. I'm sure you can, but um, they're planning a political assassination or something. They've got like a bunch of people hostage in a building over some bill that is really fucking over veterans. And as
Mm.
you're shooting them, you look at their bodies as you secure their guns and zip tie their bodies. They like a lot of them are missing limbs and like a lot of them are very clearly GWAT veterans. It's like, oh, I feel fucking dirty doing this, and I think that's the idea. They
No,
very easily
that's
could have just
cool.
made it like, oh, it's like,
MS-13
yeah,
or like straight up Crips and Blood
it's
selling
like, no,
fentanyl to
you're shooting
children.
American soldiers who have been fucked by the system, and like while their methods aren't fantastic, like they're really bad actually, like man, it makes you feel bad, and I think that's the idea.
That's cool. That's
Maybe I'm
cool.
giving them more credit than I should be because I know there's a lot of controversy around the game being toned down right now and
Well,
so and
no,
so. I'm not going to
they
circle jerk about that. It is what it is.
they could outright have like instead of some a gray area with like veterans like being fucked over by a bill, they could just have like a fucking Nazi militia
Yeah,
out in the woods like cooking meth and fucking their sisters, and it's like
actually, there is one thing kind of like that. A little bit.
I'm sure like
Yeah,
that's a
so
nice easy one, like, oh yeah, blow them the fuck away, who cares,
yeah, there's one where it's like they're it's like a Ted K kind of cabin, and the guy's making
Oh.
ricin. What one of the censors was he used to be wearing a ghillie suit and his dick was out. They gave him underwear. Um,
Ah,
yeah, like crazy
lame.
old man schlong is what we all needed. But what was I talking about again? Yeah,
The
no,
game used
it's
to
a
be
lot of fun.
cooler
I play with a
before
lot of the
woke.
Discord guys now. We've done a couple structure runs and like it's kind of fun to see people without like formal experience but with some basis of knowledge try and do different things. I actually really like that.
Hmm.
Like they were doing this thing. It's like, okay, you're the breacher because you have this. You're the so and so. Like the way that I learned is like everyone kind of can do everything, and that's okay. Their way wasn't necessarily invalid. It was a little overcomplicated, but like it worked. Like
Mm.
and it's fun because like every mission is a puzzle, and usually you can solve that puzzle with police brutality. So
A tale as old as time. Well,
exactly.
I'm I'm gonna see if I can get that and then do cross-platform stuff
Yes, I
with you
have it on
guys.
PlayStation 5. I can play cross-platform with everyone. Almost everyone I know has it on PC, so I'm just playing it cross-platform with them.
Hell yeah. How do you talk to them on PC?
I just do a Discord call, or
Oh,
like
okay.
we could just do a regular call or something,
Yeah, yeah.
or Discord or whatever. But yeah, you
I
should hop on with the lads sometime, or just me. We can go do a thing.
hell yeah. Dude,
There's one mission called Valley of the Dolls where you're arresting like a very rich pedophile with like PMC security. Um, and overhear them. It's like, man, I feel pretty bad about this. And turns out he's just like a pedophile. They did censor it, but probably because of some weird regional law or something, where he used to have pictures of kids all over his like weird underground basement workshop.
ooh.
It changed them all to dolls. So now it's like, oh well, why are we fucking rating this guy? He's just weird. Like before he
Yeah.
was like into kitty porn, and now he's just really into porcelain dolls. That's weird, but it's not illegal.
I can still justify
Yeah,
some brutality just for being
yeah,
this
I'm
fucking
going to
weird.
pepperball him a couple times. Fuck it.
It's funny. I used to be such a gamer. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever told you this. I even at one point, me and a buddy back in England, we used to have a YouTube channel that was sponsored and was actually like growing pretty decently.
really, I did not know this
Um,
actually.
my name is in the credits of a uh, how much can I say? Like a pretty popular Xbox arcade game. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, like have I not shown you that before?
No, actually,
Okay, well,
you're gonna have to.
I used to be a pretty big gamer back in the day, and now I feel like a fucking dad before I've had any kids. Like I'll hop on like a shooter
Yeah,
and just get my shit kicked in. Like I picked up Space Marine 2 recently because I played the first one years ago, and I got pretty good at the multiplayer on that. Just mowing people down with a fucking like heavy bolter,
yeah,
but I suck at the fucking PvE. PvP, I've always been like
yeah.
decent at
Me,
that,
me
but
too. I'm not a PvP guy. I'm not generally a multiplayer guy at all, honestly.
oh no, I was saying I was decent at the multiplayer.
Oh, never mind. I
The
thought you said
the
you weren't.
no, the
I'm bad at it.
PvE,
Yeah,
like you're fighting like swarm enemies, and there's like a lot of like quick time things where you have to like very quickly
yeah,
like block to be able to like knock them back and like get your health back. I
yeah,
fucking suck at that, but the multiplayer I was pretty decent at.
yeah.
But fucking like I remember back when Mitch was doing a lot of Warzone. I would
Yes, I
play.
played with him a couple times. I
Yeah,
think.
I played with him like a handful of times, and he would carry the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I was really bad at that game.
I was already starting. I used to be like pretty good at Call of Duty too,
Yeah,
and Halo and all of that. I used to like I did the Vid Masters on Halo 3.
yeah,
I used to ferry people through it. I used to like play, like basically pub stomp with a group of dudes on COD.
yeah.
Nowadays, I pick up that shit and I suck. I get my shit kicked in by like 13-year-olds. I hate it, dude.
Same.
This is just like I I hate getting older because you realize things like the fucking the old lion just eventually becoming like fucking useless, and the young bucks coming and like taking all of his shit.
Yeah,
That happens. It's real.
that is really fucking funny. Well, I think you'll like Ready or Not for that reason because it's more procedural.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more brain as opposed like you don't have to be faster
Oh, dude,
than
like
yeah.
yeah, modern video games where like people turn their sensitivity up. Like
Yeah, and you've got
COD used
people who
to.
use like the aim trackers. Like Lucas was really good at that. He trained himself with an aim tracker like for his mouse, and then played Warzone, and he would carry me
What's an aim tracker?
basically like a program where you can get the muscle memory of like think of it like a dry fire trainer for first person shooters,
Wow.
like
Huh.
like perfect mouse control and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause COD used to have
Like
like
not
sensitivity from.
not like a cheater for in the game. It's more to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
train you to know your acceleration, deceleration, so, and then you go play the game.
That's wild.
Yeah, and he would be like making running headshots on dudes with like full auto bursts and things like that. But no, like Ready or Not is a lot more like procedural. Like, hey, like you hold security on this. This is your priority of work. So and so, like dig your deep corners because there very likely might be a dude hiding behind the door with a
Yeah.
knife. That does happen. Like most of the times we die, it's because we forget something basic. Like
Yep. Missed a
like
corner.
yeah, missed a corner. Like
Didn't check behind the couch.
yeah, yesterday, like one of the times I died, like I got sucked into a target. He surrendered. I didn't call him towards me. I just walked over to him and someone just shot me from a corner. I did not check because I got sucked into it. That's like a basic
Damn.
thing. Or like all of us got wiped the other day because we were in a hallway, which like you rent hallways, you own rooms. And the guy in front holding security reloaded. And like that's something that I do too. It's just like you don't think about it, but you just do it. But like in this kind of game, it's like no, you get someone to cover you, and like you have a gun up in the fight as you change megs. While he was reloading, someone just came and smoked everyone. Like it's procedural, and I like that. I've never quite played a game like that.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's one more big thing that just was announced was Battlefield 6.
Yes,
So,
I haven't seen anything about that yet because Battlefield is like
oh, dude,
it's like
it
my dad who
sucks
consistently
fast.
disappoints me.
Yeah. I last time I really enjoyed Battlefield was Battlefield 4.
Yes,
Actually, no, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1.
yes, me too. I really liked Battlefield 1.
I was just running around like a fucking lunatic bayoneting motherfuckers.
Yes,
That shit
very
was tight.
satisfying.
But
But like I do like how they did treat it with like quite a bit of sensitivity. I did
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they made it gritty and like, war is hell. I mean, it was great fucking bayoneting those fucking Turks, taking back the taking back the Ottoman Empire from those savages.
Yes,
That appealed to a deep part of me I didn't know I had.
yes, I
Um,
agree.
bayoneting crowds and such. But I don't know. I just have so little time for video games nowadays. I'm super fucking picky, and
I know, but you can play with the boys.
I will.
That's the thing I like about Ready or Not. It's like you play one 20 to 30 minute mission, and it's like, okay, we're done for the night. Like,
Oh yeah,
we all got wiped, or like we did pretty well. On average, we do pretty well as long as like nothing's dropped. Like Andy and I'll play with sometimes some local friends, sometimes like the boys from Discord, like the
yeah.
Patreon boys, and it's a lot of fun. It is.
Nah, I'm definitely gonna give it a go. And honestly, like once all the craziness of this year is done, I actually should have like more time
Yeah,
finally.
I think so. I think
I've
so.
finally come into like a comfortable resting place in life. Of course, then we're gonna have our first kid, and I'll be right back in it. But
Yeah, you'll be being woken up at 3 a.m. to go change some diapers, and
yeah,
it starts all
that's
over again.
that's fine though. Um, so before we leave, we do have one last quick thing to address, which is the anti-social shooting match.
Yes, the antisocial shooting match. We have a date and we have a location. So We the People Range in Beauville, Idaho. Um, so it like we're working on getting it an actual address because it's very new and they very kindly have offered it to us. There's a shoot house, some pistol. There's a big pistol bay. Hopefully, we'll have a second one by the time this goes. But regardless, we can switch out stages pretty easily, and everything's set up very well for it. Um, it is mile marker 40 of the Beauville Elk River Highway, which is the worst directions in the world. We will have an address and coordinates for you. I just don't want to read coordinates out in the air because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
When
but it's
is
all
it?
coming along. Our date is September the 6th. We don't have times yet, but I imagine it's just going to be all day. Like start at 11, end at 6. But our permit from the city. So like this is legit. We've got event insurance. We have RSOs. We have everything. Our friends Drew at DI Optical and a couple of other USPSA guys are helping actually do the stage planning and setting everything up. We're just we're paring it all down to like 5 stages, maybe 6.
Yeah.
But September the 6th in Beauville, Idaho. I'm really excited.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be
Yeah.
sick. Like,
More on this as it occurs and
yeah,
as we plan it.
this transitioning from being like a bit on the show to being
Yeah.
like, oh wait, what would those stages look like?
Yeah.
Oh, we we have some ideas.
We need a good name. Right now, it's just Antisocial Shooting Club or Antisocial Shooting Match. Antisocial Shooting Match has been the big one. I kind of want to do shirts of like the Antisocial Social Club style.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to have give to people at the event. But the idea of calling it some sort of brutality just to piss that Carl guy off is very funny to me.
Oh god.
I don't want internet drama because I'm just not built for it, but it'd be very funny.
It would be funny. Let's do our own thing, man.
Yeah, but it would be super funny. Let's be real.
Yeah. Maybe that's another T-shirt too.
Yeah.
Anti-social brutality.
Yeah,
but-
antisocial brutality. Like the guy who owns the range, he's a little older, and he's running CCW classes and all that stuff. Bringing up to him like, hey, here's this drill for this match where you find your wife cheating on you and then you do a double murder and then commit suicide, and he starts laughing. It's like, okay, you're cool, this will work.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah.
Well, let me show you the boardroom stage.
But no, he's been supportive of everything so far, and I like that. We just had another meeting yesterday. I didn't want to talk too much about it in the meantime until we had like a solid date and a solid location, but we have both now. So we tried to get it on Sunday, but the city won't let us. Well, the town. It's only the permit's only approved for I think Tuesday to Saturday use from I think 10 to 6.
Cities be like that, but could
Yeah.
be the first of a long time thing. So
Yes.
really exciting. We love every community day. Like they've always been super impromptu, and you guys fucking show out for them.
Yes,
and
the
it's just the
turnout's
best
always
people.
nuts.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm really excited. This is why I have to keep on making it consistently more rural, esoteric places for you guys to not be able to find, because too many show up. Stop showing up.
true, dude. Yeah, middle of fucking like rural. Fuck, was it Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah, it's Fern and Rotting Gun for one.
Yeah, yeah,
One was Deary, Idaho, and that was just a cleanup, like a range cleanup with 48 hours advance notice, and
yeah,
like 30 people showed up.
and then AWS Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah, that
Like,
had about the same, and that was like also no real notice. Like
yeah,
just like
but
it was just like Thursday or something. I don't know.
yeah, no, and you guys showed up, and we fucking love you so much for it. So
Yeah.
we're we are still small, so these things, they are a big lift for us, but they're always super fun. They're always, so massively worth it. There is nothing better for us than actually me and you guys, because you are our people. You're
Yes.
like us. There's a lot of you out there, and we love not only meeting you guys, but you guys meeting each other. Like
Yes.
we've seen so many, like, people show up, they drive like a couple of hours, and they realize, like, oh, you drove from here, oh,
Yeah.
that's like 30 minutes from me, okay, we
Yeah.
can be friends.
Hell yeah.
And that's what the Discord is also great for that too.
Yes. I agree. Like you guys are why we do this still. Otherwise, we would have rode off into the mountains by now.
Oh, dude, I'm so ready to just fuck. Me and Nathan are so fucking offline.
Yeah. Oh
It's-
man, it's just like people have been so negative lately. It just wears me out. I haven't even logged into the page in a minute. I should. Like what I did it by accident last week, and I just saw all the messages. I'm like, oh fuck. Like I gotta get to these at some point.
Yeah.
Like I've got 32 unread texts right now, and that's just my personal. 18,000 unread emails, but I think that's just my ADHD. Either way,
It do be like that. So
yes.
anyway, we're we'll be putting that together. We'll be announcing. We should probably do a post on the page.
We definitely will. We definitely
about
will.
about the shooting
Yeah,
match.
probably more than one. Hopefully, maybe get back into stories also.
Yeah. But yeah, should be a great time. I am pretty certain I won't be able to make it, unfortunately, because I'll actually
you.
be I'll be heading out to Idaho shortly after the
Yes.
range day for something else with Nathan.
Yes,
But
but you'll be there in spirit, and
yeah.
I'll dress a scarecrow up like you. I'll put in a red coat and give it a musket. I'm
There you
joking.
go. There you go.
I'm joking. I'm joking. You would never. You're the least red coat I've ever met.
I appreciate it. Yeah, next year I would love to do a anti-social shooting match east. So
Yes, it'd be
Um,
very good to have one on each coast. And
yep, do something out here, maybe around the time of goals.
Yes.
You know,
I would
so-
like to turn it into a thing, like a consistent thing, if it goes well, which I think
Yeah.
it will.
yeah. Do you think you'll be able to get it on practice school?
I don't know. I don't see why not.
I
The
don't know
fellows
how you-
organizing it are intimately familiar with that.
Yeah.
Like they're both A-class pistol shooters, and then there's Drew, who's an organizer, and he's really good at that. We have a ammo sponsor too. Matt from Two Grunts might show up, and I love that guy.
Fuck yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Early days, so lots of stuff developing, and we'll let you guys know what goes on with that.
Yes, very much so.
But yeah, that was a good little yap sesh. Sig-cident, Tim-cident,
Death Stranding 2, God please play it.
Death Stranding 2.
You need to
and
know
living
about the
American
baby.
dream.
You need to know about Lou. And Mads Mikkelsen. Mads Mikkelsen's in the first one.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
Maybe I'll pick up the first game on Xbox, and
Please,
me
God,
and
please.
my fiance will cry our way through it.
The first one starts a little slow. I'll warn you right now. Like the first 5 hours are, yes, it's a walking simulator. But it sets up the world and it kind of gets you used to it. Then they start introducing combat and everything else. The second one just fucking jumps right into it and they simplify a bunch of stuff. But they're both excellent. Please play them.
Fair play. All right. Well,
It'll get you ready for fatherhood. I won't give you any more context than that.
That's terrifying.
Yes. Thank you, Hideo. I want Hideo Kojima on the show right now. If someone has a fucking line to him, I know he barely speaks English, but I love that man.
I would love to speak broken English with Kojima for an hour
Kojima-san.
and a half.
Yes.
No, I would definitely have to leave that to you and Lucas. I would have no fucking clue what to talk to him about.
Yeah, I don't think you were a Metal Gear Solid kid, so
No, I was not.
yeah.
Um. Anyway, with that, any quick dad advice for the listeners, Nathan?
Play Death Stranding too.
Base-
It is actually, in this case, this is dad advice. Like, if you can't do that, just do the first one, I guess. But like, make it past the first few hours. I saw a meme about it the other day of someone just like, you know, the guy who's digging a hole, like a tunnel,
Oh,
and
yeah.
right through the small amount of dirt, there's a
Inches
whole
of
bunch of
dirt.
diamonds, and it's
Yep.
just like, I played the first 5 hours of Death Stranding, and it's a walking sim, and right behind that thin layer of dirt, it's a bunch of diamonds. Yes, please continue. Like, learn how to be a dad. I don't know. I'm just such a stan for good storytelling.
Fair play. For my little bit, kind of reiterate what I said earlier. Just fucking headbutt life, dude. Like,
Yes.
don't. We all stagnate, and that's perfectly normal and fine to feel like you're in a rut. But like, just keep on heading. Like, as long as you're heading constantly in a positive direction. Like, even if it's a small thing, like, hey, I quit having fast food multiple times a week. Like, I've limited myself to maybe once a week, or hey, I started doing one trail run a week, or
I
hey,
like that.
I
Yeah.
started dry firing once a week. Like, just start it incrementally, and once you get like a little hit of that dopamine of like, oh shit, this was good for me. This actually is a good boon to my life. Maybe I'll mix it up to 2. Maybe I'll do it 3 times a week. Maybe I'll do
Yeah.
it 4 or 5 times a week. Like, it. That shit compounds, and if you can keep it up, especially like quit giving yourself excuses. I've done it with plenty. I did it with the shooting comp, been doing it with working out, been doing it with all sorts of shit.
Yes.
And the excuses, they can be valid. Doesn't mean that you can like just submit to living in mediocrity. Like, keep pushing yourself towards more positive stuff, look after yourself, live a better life every day, a little bit more than the last one.
Yes, I agree. I like that. That was much better dad advice than go play a video game.
Hey, they're both moving in a positive direction. But
Yes.
I'm just on a high of like, hey, like shit's actually moving in a great direction.
Yes.
A lot of fucking blood, sweat, and tears has finally paid off. It's been like 2 years of work to get to this particular point, and I was getting a little bit. I was just like, I can see the light, but it's like fucking 5 miles down this tunnel, and it's always 5 miles down this tunnel, and
Yeah,
finally,
it's never getting any closer.
yeah, finally I've emerged into that light. And I like only just like there's a lot of positive stuff coming down the pipe.
Yes.
Super excited to work on this property and to get married. Like, that shit's cool.
That shit's very cool. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, man. But yeah, proud of, honestly, like, not to suck my own dick, but proud of myself. Like, it's cool for things to pay off. It especially when they're long-term things. It takes so fucking long for them to happen, and then when they finally do, like, it's why that was my dad's advice. Like, guys, I can't say it enough. Just keep on fucking pushing towards the things, because they do eventually
Keep on
pay
keeping
off.
on, as Sam Porter Bridges would say.
Yep, keep on keeping on. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.